Welcome to PRSay. This is the podcast of the Houston chapter of Public Relations Society of America. And I'm your host, Veronica Sopher, a proud member of the Houston chapter, and very excited to be with you today to introduce another phenomenal member that we have here in our Houston chapter of PRSay. You know, on this podcast, we really want to bring you the experience of connecting and networking with members. So we invite you to tune in and listen and really get to know each other so that we can grow our community, especially here in the Houston chapter, and grow our businesses. So with that, I'm going to introduce you to our very fun friend, Liz. She is joining us. Lis Harper, thank you so much. How's it going?
It's going well, Veronica. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here this morning.
Oh, I'm so excited. Here on PRSay, right? Because we do play on words. I loved that. We
Mhm.
really want to get to know each other. So many of us weren't able to connect during the pandemic, and I want people to get to know each other, but really, I want them to share kind of their experiences and what it is they do so we can leverage those relationships and really grow our network. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you, Veronica. And that's such a good point. This pandemic has made it an interesting challenge for us to figure out new ways to connect. My name is Liz. I am originally from Indiana, spent some time in DC before coming down here to Houston. And I've been proud to be a Houston resident for many years now. I have a background in marketing and communications, first from the nonprofit space, especially think tanks and public history sites. And then I went into agency work before taking a brief detour into the space of real estate here in Houston. And now I'm back in a place where I'm familiar, comfortable, and really relishing the challenge with Medley. So I have been with Medley for over 2 years now and really love the opportunity to take the approaches that we take to blend traditional public relations with the latest trends in tech and digital to support our clients. And I love learning every day. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoy being a member of PRSA, because it's a great space and great opportunity to learn and have all of the learning at your fingertips. Everything from the community digests and conversations to the emails with the latest trends and thought leadership topics that are out there and available, to the networking opportunities and webinars and trainings that are provided.
Oh, that's so true. Those webinars are, especially during the pandemic, because we were thirsty to learn and grow. Those webinars are really rich and the content's fantastic. So, have you
Mhm.
had a chance to really get involved in your new role at Medley? Have you had a chance to really get out there and network and kind of connect with members, or are you still doing things kind of virtually?
Right. So I started with Medley just a little bit before the pandemic started. And so I had some opportunities to be out there and to meet people, but most of this has been virtual. And that's why I think it's been great with PRSA and fortunately with Medley, what we've been doing. So our office, we've been in business for 12 years now, and our office has been remote and virtual for most of that time. And
Mhm.
so we already have the expertise of working from home, working remotely, and supporting our clients' digital and virtual needs. And it's been a great opportunity to combine the learning opportunities that PRSA offers virtually with the expertise and client support that we've been providing and delving into through even things as now normalized as virtual events. So we have
Right.
our expertise in StreamYard and Zoom and a variety of platforms to make events really come to life online. And it's been great to both learn from PRSA Houston and then give back to that same community, to be in conversation virtually with the members about best practices.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. Tell us a little bit about what you do. I know working and having had a chance to read your profile and get a chance to chat just a little bit. You've got a passion for strategy. I saw
Mhm.
research pop up a lot, and I know in this new role, that's something you really take a lot of pride in what your agency does. So tell us about how you tie in that strategy and the data, because I think in the digital space, you've got to have a little bit more of that than you would maybe in a more creative or an environment where you're just working on creative content.
Absolutely. And it's really an opportunity for me to stretch and grow and learn every single day with Medley as well, because we function best. We are at our best when we are successfully reaching and engaging multicultural audiences through authentic storytelling. And so at Medley, it's really important for all of us to be up to date in our research to make sure that we know not only what the latest trends are in digital, but how that's impacting the communities we're looking to reach. And then the third point of that triangle is, what does that mean for our clients, and what do the organization's goals need, and what are they, and how can we make sure that we're achieving those through the support that we're providing. So I really like to take every project and every objective from a standpoint of stepping back and not only understanding the what, but really understanding the why behind it. So if
Mhm.
our goal is to reach X number of new people online or through the media, why are we doing that? It's not just that we want to reach them, but what do we want them to do? And then also, who are they? So I like to ask a lot of questions. It's a big thing at Medley to be very curious. It's important for all of us to bring a great deal of curiosity and thorough understanding of what it is that our clients are doing, what their needs are and objectives. And then at the same time, having a thorough understanding of the audience, of the consumers, of the various populations we're aiming to reach, and what drives them, what motivates them, and how best to authentically speak to them. I think that we're in a new era. I was listening to a PRSay podcast recently about interesting challenges around Black PR professionals stepping up and gaining a foothold and mentoring those beneath them and around them. And we're coming to a greater awareness of the challenges that are faced across professions, and that includes communications. And
Mhm.
communications really needs to be out on the front lines of that. And so, coming at it from a strategic lens and making sure that we are educated, thoughtful, do our research, have a strategy behind it, and are not just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks is really imperative. And so that's one of the things, one of the many reasons why I love being at Medley and how we approach our work.
No, that's fantastic, and I love that. We've talked to a couple of other members, especially that are educators at the higher ed level, and that they've
Mm.
emphasized that so much. And I think now more than ever, we have to be mindful in our profession. And I love that you guys are doing that. What are some other ways that you are growing in your professional development? You mentioned webinars, you mentioned podcasts. How else do you, stretch those skills and learn?
Oh, just osmosis, absorbing in whatever way you possibly can. So I make sure to always stay up to date with everything that's happening, with what various reporters are reporting on, both in the
Mhm.
Houston area and then broader, and how the storylines translate. But then it's also about keeping up on those the webinars that PRSay offers, and of course that's podcast,
Mhm.
and then making sure to tap into industry trends in a broader space. So
Yeah.
everything from what the AP is reporting on, both from a data side in terms of consumer expectations. Pew Research Center is a great source for that, all the way through to just the latest trends from any given number of articles. And I think that we're really getting to a place where we're understanding the data and back end of digital and how that varies, what the outcomes are community by community. And so that's really letting
Right.
us have a better understanding of clear targeting and also authentic objectives of communication. So it's in the water that we drink.
Yeah.
It really just taking every opportunity to learn. Everything is a learning experience, and as long as you're open to it and ready for that feedback, I
Yeah.
think that there is no shortage of opportunity to learn.
Yeah, and I love that you're speaking to data and analyzing it and reviewing it, because when we look at that micro level of what it is we're putting together for either our clients or even our own businesses, if we don't have that data to evaluate, then it's going to be really hard for us to determine if we're getting if we're leveraging our efforts in the right
Mhm.
way. So I love that you talk about it. Real quickly before we wrap up, kind of share with us who your clients are in terms of the kinds of organizations you're looking to connect with and the type of people you want to connect with. I always tell people, if we were at a networking event and someone asked you, hey, how can I help you? What kind of clients are you looking for? What would you
Mhm.
say?
Thank you. That's a really great question. Medley is proud to work across a variety of industries and topic areas. So, everything from education to arts and culture to especially infrastructure development and government municipal spaces. So, we have clients that cross all of those standpoints. And really, what we're looking for is clients who are ready and eager to tell clear, compelling stories authentically to multicultural audiences. That is our specialty, and we are just here to help make a difference and make sure that those messages not only reach and resonate with the clients, but that they're or with the audience the client is trying to reach, but that they are rich in storytelling too.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much. It's been a great conversation, Liz. How do you want people to connect with you? What's the best way to get to know you a little bit better?
Thank you, Veronica. It's been a pleasure and a delight talking with you. I appreciate the opportunity. And anybody who's interested in reaching out certainly can find me on LinkedIn or just shoot me an email, liz@medley-inc.com. I'd be happy to connect.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. It was nice chatting with you. And Liz, you sound like you've got your hands full, and I can't wait to connect some of my government friends your way, because I know we've got a lot of cities and counties who have stories to tell, and it sounds like they need to connect with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Veronica. I appreciate that. And really just proud and honored to be a part of the PRSay Houston community. It's such a pleasure every day to connect with the experts here. So thank you for the opportunity.
You bet. All right, guys, that's this episode of PRSay. We brought you another great member to highlight. Liz is fantastic. Make sure you connect with her on LinkedIn. And remember that we host this show once a week. If you are listening on one of the podcast platforms, just hit subscribe, because we don't want you to miss any episodes. If you happen to be catching one of our videos on one of the social media platforms, why don't you go ahead and type in the comments and maybe type in hashtag replay so Liz and I can go back and connect, because we love to really broaden our reach. That's what this podcast is all about. PRSay Houston chapter, we want to connect with you. I'm your host, Veronica Sopher, with Veronica v. Sopher Public Relations. I'm proud to connect all of our members together, and I will see you guys